Hello everyone and welcome. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation. We're going to explore Mega Goal 2.2, focusing on Unit 8, which is all about sporting life and reading. In the next few minutes, I'll guide you through the key points of this unit, highlighting some interesting aspects of sports and reading habits. Let's get started. Today, we're going to look at some popular sports in Saudi Arabia. We'll explore what makes these sports interesting and why they are significant in the region. Then, we'll shift our focus to winter sports in Norway, highlighting some of the key activities and what makes Norway a great destination for winter sports enthusiasts. Throughout this slide, I'll be sharing some important information to help you understand the cultural and environmental differences that influence sports in these countries. So, let's dive into the fascinating world of sports around the globe and see how they connect to the overall theme of our presentation. Now, looking at this slide, we see two different winter sports. The first one is ski jumping. In this picture, you can see an athlete preparing to jump off a large ramp. It's all about speed, technique, and courage as they launch themselves into the air. The second picture shows speed skating. Here, the person is gliding quickly on ice, focusing on power and precision with every stride. So, what are these people doing? They're practicing and competing in their respective sports, both requiring unique skills and training. This slide highlights the diversity of winter sports and how each one involves specific movements and warm-up routines to perform at their best. Remember, warming up is essential to prevent injuries and improve performance in all these activities. Now let's take a look at the most popular winter sports in Norway. These activities are deeply rooted in Norwegian culture and are a big part of life during the winter months. So, what are these sports exactly? Well, they include some traditional favorites like cross-country skiing, which is almost a national pastime, and downhill skiing, where Norway boasts some world-class ski resorts. You also have snowboarding, biathlon, and even ice skating. These sports not only keep Norwegians active, but also connect them to their stunning natural landscape. As we explore these, keep in mind how these activities reflect the Norwegian love for the winter and their remarkable skill in embracing the cold season. Now, let's warm up and dive a little deeper into each of these sports and what makes them so popular here. Let's take a moment to explore some of the most popular winter sports. Ski jumping is a thrilling event where athletes launch off a ramp and try to achieve the longest jump while maintaining style and control. Short track is a fast-paced form of ice skating on a small rink, known for its quick turns and exciting races. Ice hockey, of course, is a team sport played on ice, combining speed, skill, and strategy. Biathlon uniquely combines cross-country skiing with rifle shooting, testing both endurance and precision. Moving to freestyle skiing, athletes perform acrobatic tricks and jumps, showcasing agility and creativity. Figure skating is renowned for its elegant performances and technical skills, often captivating audiences with artistry and athleticism. Speed skating involves racing around an oval track at high speeds, demanding both power and endurance. Nordic combines ski jumping and cross-country skiing, emphasizing versatility and stamina. Luge is an exhilarating sport where athletes slide down an icy track lying on a small sled, reaching incredible speeds. Cross-country skiing is all about endurance, with skiers racing over long distances through challenging terrains. Bobsleigh involves teams racing in a gravity-powered sled down an icy track, emphasizing teamwork and speed. Alpine skiing focuses on downhill racing with sharp turns and high speeds. Overall, these winter sports highlight the incredible range of skills, from speed and endurance to precision and artistry. They are the core of winter competition, demonstrating human resilience and the thrill of pushing limits. When we look at this slide, what it's really telling us is that most Norwegians start learning how to ski at a very young age. It's just a natural part of their childhood, almost like learning to cycle or run. Because of this early exposure, skiing isn't seen as a sport or a hobby. It's ingrained in their daily lives and culture. This is a key point because it highlights how deeply connected Norwegians are to winter sports, especially skiing. It's not something they pick up later in life. It's part of who they are from the beginning. And that brings us to the phrase, a country born on skis. Think about it. Norway's landscape, climate, and culture all support this idea that skiing isn't just a recreational activity, it's a fundamental part of their identity. So, as we continue, I'd like you to consider how this early and natural relationship with skiing influences their way of life and their global reputation in winter sports. Now, let's warm up and dig into this idea a bit more. Let's take a closer look at this slide. We see a sequence of numbers from 9 down to 1, which might seem simple at first glance, but there's a purpose here. The key point is that these numbers represent a countdown, a process of moving from one stage to another, often associated with anticipation or preparation. Now, beneath that, we have the phrase, "How many paragraphs are there?" which prompts us to think about structure. In total, there are 9 paragraphs in the text, each one likely corresponding to a number or a specific idea. This emphasizes the importance of breaking down complex information into manageable parts, which is a crucial aspect of effective communication. Moving to the next line, "A Country Born on Skis." This is a fascinating title. It hints at a story about a nation with a strong connection to skiing, perhaps a place where the sport is deeply embedded in its identity and history. It also symbolizes resilience and a close relationship with nature, as skiing often involves overcoming challenging terrains and weather conditions. Connecting this to our overall theme, this slide highlights how storytelling, structure, and cultural identity come together. Whether we're counting down, analyzing paragraph structure, or exploring a nation's roots, the underlying message is about understanding and effectively communicating complex ideas. So remember, when presenting or writing, breaking down information into clear, structured parts helps your audience follow along and grasp the core message, just like this countdown or the story of a country born on skis. Let's take a look at some key questions related to our reading strategy, timed reading. First, how important were skis 100 years ago? Well, they played a vital role in transportation and survival, especially in snowy regions. Skiing wasn't just a sport then, it was a necessity. Next, is it possible for people to ski in winter even in the dark? Absolutely, especially in places like Norway, where daylight hours can be quite short during winter months. People adapt by skiing early or late in the day, or even at night with proper lighting. Now, what do they do if there's no access to snow? That's a good question. Sometimes they switch to other winter activities, or they might even use alternative equipment to stay active. Finally, when do Norwegians usually go cross-country skiing? Typically, during winter months, especially when snow is abundant, they take advantage of the season for both recreation and tradition. These points connect to the overall theme of how deeply intertwined skiing is with culture, history, and daily life in snowy regions. Let's take a moment to focus on the telemark skis. What was so important about them? Well, these skis revolutionized skiing by introducing a new technique that allowed for greater agility and control on the slopes. They are characterized by a free-heel design, which means skiers could bend their knees more naturally and make sharp turns more easily. This innovation was a game changer because it opened up new possibilities for both recreational and competitive skiing. Now, moving on to who is considered the father of modern skiing. That title often goes to Sander Norheim. He was a Norwegian skier who is credited with developing and popularizing the telemark technique we just talked about. His contributions laid the foundation for the sport's evolution, turning skiing from a simple means of transportation into a popular sport and recreation. By understanding these key points, we see how technological and individual innovations have shaped skiing into what it is today, aligning perfectly with our overall theme of technological progress and pioneering spirit in sports. Now, let's focus on some interesting questions to test our knowledge and improve our reading skills. First, we have a question about Norway. Do you know which country has won the most Olympic medals in cross-country skiing? This is a sport where Norway has traditionally excelled, thanks to their strong winter sports culture. Recognizing these key facts helps us appreciate the dominance of certain countries in specific sports. Next, we have a quick check on biathlon. Is biathlon an Olympic sport? Yes, it is. It's a fascinating combination of cross-country skiing and rifle shooting, requiring both endurance and precision. Remembering this connection highlights how diverse and challenging winter sports can be. The last question asks, who was the first man to reach the South Pole? That was Roald Amundsen. His historic expedition marked a major achievement in polar exploration. Connecting this to our overall theme, it reminds us of the incredible human spirit and perseverance behind these sporting and exploratory feats. So, as we practice timed reading, keep these key points in mind. They help us not only improve our skills, but also deepen our understanding of these exciting topics. Let's take a moment to look at the words in vocabulary building on page 25. I want you to find and underline the words in the reading that are part of this vocabulary list. These words are considered awesome because they can really enhance your understanding and expression. Remember, focusing on these keywords helps you build a stronger vocabulary, which is crucial for effective communication. As you identify and underline these words, think about how they fit into the overall theme of our presentation. Building your vocabulary isn't just about memorizing words. It's about understanding their meaning and how to use them confidently. So, take your time to find those words and see how they connect to what we've been discussing. All right, let's take a closer look at these statements. We see a mix of false and true responses here. The first two are false, which might indicate some initial misconceptions or assumptions. Then, we see three truths in a row highlighting areas where understanding is solid. Moving on, we have a couple more false answers, perhaps showing where confusion still exists. The last true statement suggests a correct insight after reading or reviewing the material. The key point here is to recognize how our understanding evolves through reading and engagement. When we analyze these responses, it reminds us to double-check assumptions and ensure we're accurately interpreting information. This process is crucial not only for mastering the content, but also for applying it effectively in real-world scenarios. So overall, this slide emphasizes the importance of critical thinking and continuous learning, checking what we think we know against the facts. It's about refining our knowledge and making sure we're on the right track as we move forward. Slide 13 highlights the rich cultural heritage of Saudi Arabia through its traditional sports. You see, these sports are more than just games. They are a reflection of the history and values of the region. For example, equestrian sports are deeply rooted in Saudi culture. Riders aim to be the first to reach the finish line, showcasing skill and endurance. These events are held at special racetracks, emphasizing their significance. Similarly, camel racing is a traditional sport and an important part of Saudi life. People train camels and participate in local races and competitions, which are also held at dedicated racetracks. It's fascinating how these events preserve and celebrate our heritage. Falconry is another traditional activity that holds cultural importance. People train falcons to hunt, participating in falconry events, often outdoors, which helps maintain the skills needed for hunting in the old days. All these sports, horse riding, camel racing, and falconry, are more than just competitions. They connect us to our history, our identity, and our cultural roots. In contrast, we also see modern global sports like football or soccer, which is played worldwide. It's an exciting team sport where 11 players aim to score more goals than the opposing team within 90 minutes on a grass field. It's a sport of teamwork, skill, and passion, and it unites people across nations, just like our traditional sports do locally. Together, these sports showcase the diversity of Saudi Arabia's cultural heritage and its connection to the global sports community. All right, let's wrap up with some practical tools to reinforce what we've learned. On page 299, you'll see the exercise section. This is where you can actively apply the concepts we've discussed. The first part is the workbook activity, which is designed to help you deepen your understanding through hands-on practice. Next, there's the homework assignment, encouraging you to reflect on and implement these ideas in real-life scenarios. Remember, engaging with these exercises is key to solidifying your knowledge and making meaningful progress. So, I encourage you to approach them thoughtfully, and don't hesitate to revisit any sections that feel challenging. This is all about integrating what you've learned into your daily practice, ultimately helping you achieve your goals more effectively.